On today's show, we head over to Germany and return to the Berlin Templehof Airport as the Berlin E-Prix Grand Finale of the 2019-20 FIA Formula E Championship reaches its halfway point. It's race 3 of 6, doubling as round 8 of the championship. Then we wind the clock back to last year's dramatic penultimate round of the Australian Superbike Championship held at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, featuring the Kawasaki Superbike and Motorsports TV Supersport classes. This is Speedweek.
Set a big bullseye mark on your back, so every other team now wants to beat us. We are the team to beat. I do believe I have the tools to win this championship.
Oh, I scored. Let's go and get him.
And we go green at Templehof.
Okay, so stay with him.
Confirm. Oh, they're side by side on the way out. Boom!
Wow! What the
They bang wheels. Antonio Felix da Costa wins again in Berlin. Absolutely stunning stuff.
Yes! We did it, baby. We're back.
Welcome to the ABB FIA Formula E Championship from Berlin, where our electrifying season finale is lighting up the German capital. Just 4 rounds remain and the race for the championship is entering its endgame.
After a 5-month hiatus, Formula E is back with an epic 6-race finale that will decide the Season 6 championship. When racing was suspended in March, we'd already seen a record 9 different winners from the last 9 races. But now one man is firmly on the rise.
Da Costa out of the final corner. He wins in Marrakesh.
Yes! Let's go, boys!
Round 5 in Marrakesh gave us a new championship leader, and Antonio Felix da Costa just hasn't stopped winning since. In the opening race of the Berlin finale, when championship rivals faltered,
And Gunther hits Evans, and he drops a long way down the order. He's not going to score any points today, Mitch Evans.
Idiots.
Keep going, keep going.
no one could believe the pace of the Portuguese driver, especially his teammate Jean-Eric Verne.
I mean, it's clearly over-consuming and not following the beam. It's a joke.
While everyone else was pulling their hair out, dominant Da Costa put the hammer down, becoming the first ever driver to claim a maximum haul of 30 points.
Looking forward to watch it on TV. Thanks, guys.
Round 7 was the chance to hit reset for other championship contenders to come back into the mix. But not everyone was reading from that script, and Da Costa's stock continues to climb. First, he topped qualifying by nearly half a second.
That was a nice lap.
And in the race, he was driving a different line, timing everything to perfection.
Antonio Felix da Costa wins again in Berlin.
Yes! Van Finish! 3 in a row. Amazing.
Leading the championship by some margin, Da Costa isn't quite home and dry yet, but one more class act from him today, and it could just be a stroll to the title. 9 days, 6 races, 3 tracks, 1 champion.
Round 8 reverts to the traditional layout of the Tempelhof Airport circuit, a 2.3-kilometre, 10-turn track. Calling the action is our commentary team of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nichols.
Lucas Di Grassi is in 10th spot. Oliver Rowland in the next Nissan is in 9th position. Then it's championship leader Antonio Felix da Costa. He can wrap up the title today, but he's got to win to do it. And from 8th position, that is going to be tricky. And hope other things go his way. Andre Lotterer is in 7th place on the grid in the next Porsche. Robin Freitz out-qualifies his teammate and starts in 6th position. Alex Lynn, very impressive performance to make it 2 Superpole appearances in the last 3 races, and he's behind the Belgian.
Yeah, Stoffel Van Dorn, his qualifying performances haven't been great, but he's got the results out of the Mercedes, starting up front today. Could be fireworks.
Absolutely. Jerome D'Ambrosio, good qualifying from him. Another Belgian starting in third position. Max Günther with his third front row start, never managed to secure pole position. And Jean-Eric Vergne starts on pole for the 11th time in his ABB FIA Formula E career. And we go green in Germany. Not a bad start from Da Costa, but Oliver Rowland might be coming up the inside of him. It's a great start from Jerome D'Ambrosio in the Mahindra, who looks to the inside of Günther. Günther locks up. D'Ambrosio forces his way in there. Lynn is going side by side with Stoffel Van Dorn as well. It's going to get very crunchy into the right-hander of three. D'Ambrosio has made it stick up into second place. Günther third, locks up with Lynn pressuring him from behind. He's still side by side with Stoffel Van Dorn. De Grassi's going wide. Rowland's going wide, almost getting fed into the wall. Where is Antonio Felix da Costa in all of that? Has he made it through? I think he is still in 8th place. D'Ambrosio with a late defence as Günther goes on the attack. That bogs Lynn, and that allows Stoffel Van Dorn to get around the outside, but he takes too much speed in, and as a result he loses places. Robin Freins has the inside on him into turn 7. Freins gains the position. This is on board with Sergio Sette Camara, getting in the mix with Felipe Massa, his compatriot. He loses out to the Brazilian. 3 wide for second place. Günther's going for D'Ambrosio again. D'Ambrosio shepherds him out a little bit wide. That could give the other Mahindra of Alex Lynn an opportunity coming up into the final corner. All of this action, Dario, means Vergne's checked out.
Yeah, Vergne's gone already. You have to say D'Ambrosio's been very defensive and he's causing all kinds of problems for those behind him. And it looks like the track is very dirty, slightly off line, Jack. You've got to be single file. Again, D'Ambrosio going defensive, doesn't want to use too much energy too early in the race. Has Günther managed to go around the outside? No.
Great look at driver's eye into that first corner. Already Jean-Eric Vergne's lead at the end of the first lap. It's 2 seconds, and then it is D'Ambrosio in second, Günther third, Lynn fourth, Freins fifth, Van Dorn, Lotterer, Da Costa, Rowland, De Grassi, the rest of the top 10. Mortar is in a bit of trouble. He's slipped down to 18th position. Sette Camara looked like he was getting fed into the wall on the exit there. I think he might have still made it through in 14th position now, and Günther gets the inside. Second place now for the BMW I Andretti driver. D'Ambrosio drops to third, Lynn still in fourth, Freins still in fifth, Van Dorn, the only real hope of stopping Da Costa, drops 2 places at the start and is down to 6th position.
And the cars that are quick on these first laps, Jack, will not necessarily be quick once the regeneration comes in, once the battery loses a bit of energy, give some room in that battery for recharging. So that's going to change the balance. And as the tyres wear, the balance shift in the car is going to be incredible. Expect the rear tyres to go off the back of the car, sliding around a bit more.
Out to complete lap 2. Jean-Eric Vergne, I promise you, he's still there. Although Günther sets the fastest lap of the race, brings the gap down to 1.7 seconds, now 1.5 seconds at the line. So we'll see how that pans out over the course of the race. Alex Lynn having to defend from Robin Freins, and Günther now...
He's back ahead.
Yeah, but he's pulling away quite a bit from D'Ambrosio as well.
Yeah, D'Ambrosio's got a big train of cars behind him. And again, we've seen this, the guys that used energy in those early laps in the very first race here in Berlin a couple of days ago, they paid the penalty later. So D'Ambrosio's just being super careful. He's got 1% more than Alex Lynn, his teammate behind him, who's hounding him at the moment.
There is the usable energy on the left-hand side. Jean-Eric Vergne, with that easy first lap, has been able to save quite well, I would have thought, and he'll now try and manage the gap to Max Günther, although Günther in the first 2 sectors has taken another 3/10 out of Jean-Eric Vergne's lead, the Frenchman at the front of the field. Wouldn't be surprised if Alex Lynn is on the radio saying, I'm quicker than Jerome, get him out of my way. Whether that's true or not, who knows, but I'm sure he'll be saying it.
Yeah, I think his stress will be the guys behind him, them making a lunge on him when he starts to regen. He will be getting the slipstream, though, from his teammate Jerome D'Ambrosio in front, which will allow him to save some energy, and I'm sure he won't be too unhappy about that. But look how late on the brakes D'Ambrosio goes into turn 1, leaving no chance for his teammate to make a move on the inside.
Attack mode activation zone is now open, so the drivers, when they want to, can go out wide at that first corner. I wonder if Vergne, I thought he might go very early because he's got such a big advantage, but Günther's closing in on him.
Watch from Freins. Robin Freins looks like he's lining up 5th place to have a go at Alex Lynn, and there you go, there's the move.
Freins at the inside, we've got a great view of it here from Stoffel Van Dorn in 6th place. Freins got it, Lynn got the cutback, but I think just had a not quite enough grip to get the drive out of 6.
Yeah, he got onto the dirty part of the track, Jack, just couldn't put the power down, had too much lock on as well. And again, the cars probably set them up with quite a bit of understeer at this point to try and protect those rear tyres as the race goes on. Another thing we haven't mentioned yet, battery temperature. The more you regenerate, just like your phone, the faster you charge it.
Good job, focus in front, good job.
The faster you charge it, the more heat it produces. And when these cars get to the critical point of battery temperature, they slow down in a hurry.
40 minutes plus 1 lap to go. And down the start-finish straight they come. Bit of a lock-up there from Lucas de Grassi as he fights with Felipe Massa, who's being nice and aggressive in these opening laps, isn't he? Here's a look at the start a couple of times.
Yeah, Max Günther just didn't make a good getaway, did he? And that allowed Jerome D'Ambrosio to have a look on the inside. And that was kind of the stopper in the bottle for everybody in turn 1. But look at Jean-Eric Vergne from pole position. He just heads off. Look at the lead he's got by the time he exits turn 2. He's just pulling away now. He's on his preferred line. Look at Alex Lynn. Alex Lynn almost round the outside of the BMW as well. Didn't quite manage it.
No one's getting fed into the walls, which is quite surprising. In our 3 races so far, I expect every time someone's going to get a bit of a crunch, but they're all leaving each other room, which is very pleasant.
It's been pretty physical though, hasn't it? We see this replay of the start again. After the first race on Wednesday, I walked up the pit lane after the race. I think there was 1 car possibly with no damage, and that was the Costas. Everybody else had some form of broken carbon fibre. Oh, and Günther. Max Günther right with Jean-Eric Vergne.
Interesting pace here between Günther and Vergne. It was Günther and Da Costa that battled it out until the last lap in Santiago earlier this year, when Günther took his maiden victory, overtook Da Costa on the last lap, and now it's the other DS Techeetah that he is battling with. Into the left-hander of turns 3, out through 4, and then 5, and down the back straight. And D'Ambrosio's closed in on Vergne as well. So D'Ambrosio's now only 1.7 seconds back from Jean-Eric Vergne.
And the danger man here, to me, looks like Robin Frenz as well. Look how quickly he is closed up in the back of Jerome D'Ambrosio. He's coming in a hurry.
Through turn 5, in front of the plane that was used for the Berlin airlift. Here at Tempelhof, that big runway in the background there, in the middle of that big field, was the venue for the Berlin airlift. Getting supplies into East Berlin just at the end of the Second World War. Stoffel van Dorn on Alex Lynn. Whee, big double front locker, move made.
Yeah, there's a big bump just as they brake, and you saw Stoffel just locking up. Did a good job though, probably no flat spots. And all good. It looks like Nico Müller's the first taker for attack mode today. We've seen people missing the attack mode on the outside when it was turn 5 with the reverse direction track, now turn 6. I think it's equally as difficult though to be accurate and to make sure you arm attack mode. Otherwise you've wasted a lot of time going offline and you don't get the boost in power, the 35 kilowatts boost in power, which is over 12% extra, which, trust me, comes in very, very handy.
You have to use that twice during the race. You can't use it behind safety cars or full course yellows. There they come into the left-hander. Now, it'll be interesting to see the energy percentages that they've got remaining, because that is when we'll see whether if Günther used a lot of energy catching up to the back of Jean-Eric Vergne. 37 minutes plus a lap to go. Frenz is now closing in, as you say, on Jerome D'Ambrosio for 3rd place in the Mahindra. Solid job from Andre Lotter at the moment, 7th in the Porsche, and Antonio Felix da Costa just cruising around in 8th.
You have 1% more sock than the car behind you.
Sock being state of charge, so Jean-Eric Vergne being told you've got a percentage more than Günther behind.
This is where Jean-Eric Vergne's confidence in leading the race, he sort of backs the pack up a bit. He's not panicking, he's not overusing energy to get away from the car in front. If Max Günther gets behind him, trust me, we've seen Jean-Eric Vergne be as aggressive as anybody keeping cars behind him. He wants this win today. He wants to get back on track and get back to winning races. And here we see his opposition, his main opposition, Max Günther in the BMW. Now you listen to him come off the throttle. He's coasting now, and regeneration is going to start. There we go. That's him putting energy back into the battery. And it's amazing how much energy they have to regenerate to make the end of this race. Because we saw the other day in the last lap, we saw that Da Costa was at 0%. And basically regened his way to the finish line. He just put enough energy in to regenerate to get to the finish line. Sam Bird has actually lost the place. He's 21st. I was expecting him to come forward.
He's only lost out to Nico Müller. Nico Muller's on attack mode. Bird going in a little bit deep there, but still, it's certainly backwards, not forwards in the order.
Such a surprise. I mean, Sam Bird, we've said it many times, he's one of the best, if not the best, overtaker in Formula E. Robin French looks like he's got a bit of damage on the nose of that Envision Virgin in 4th place.
So that's that was the championship as it stands. Here's a replay of Evans going up the inside of Eduardo Mortara, and Evans now up into 18th position. So a bit of progress, but Evans started in 19th place, so +1 during the race so far. René Rast has used his first attack mode. Sergio Sette Camara struggling a bit on usable energy, 75%, so a little bit less than others, but obviously it's only his 3rd Formula E race. There goes René Rast now on Daniel Abt, and that is now 22nd position for the German in his home race. Rast overtaking Abt, and I'm sure there's a little part of Daniel Abt that thinks I'm in a Neo. I got dropped from Audi, but the Audi's just overtaken me.
Yeah, trust me, that's not a good feeling. I've been in that situation before when I've moved teams and I've either been passed or passed the car. And it's a much different feeling when you're the one doing the passing of the car. You've either just left or just been kicked out of. It's not nice. You see everybody's sort of equidistant at the moment. Nobody's really making any big moves. It looks like the Costa's quite content in 8th place to just settle in. And when people start struggling, Mitch Evans poking his nose out there, but when people start to burn the rear tyres off the car a bit, we're going to see, I think, a bigger differential between those who are in good shape and those who are struggling. Look at the Porsche already sliding the back end. Andre Lotter in 7th place ahead, and Alex Lynn 2 places ahead of that.
Flashing past the camera on the exit of the hairpin and out over the start-finish straight again. So Verne, it seems, has been sort of, well, maybe he's been happy to let that lead drop down while he saves and manages energy. This was Mitch Evans going on Neil Jarni, going into the left-hander hairpin at turn 6. Clean as you like.
Yeah, he likes that move, doesn't he? He's just starting to move forward. Mitch Evans, he's got a bit of work to do, still in 17th place. What has happened to that pace in the Jaguar that allowed him to win in Mexico City by about a day and a half? We see the comers and goers. Buemi up 3 places. Kaleido up 3 places in the Jaguar.
Good progress from them.
It's just a bit tame so far. Everybody's sort of...
Yeah, but we said this for the first race, didn't we?
I know, that was my next point, is that everybody's just playing nicely, and Lucas Di Grassi goes to attack mode. Is he going to lose a spot or 2? He only loses 1 spot, and watch him go to the inside. No, I thought he was going to try and make a move to the inside of Felipe Massa, who he lost a spot to. Felipe Massa in 10th place so far. Good showing.
It is quiet at the moment, but the difference for the first race on reverse Berlin is that the leaders are all together. What made the first Berlin one unusual was that the DS Techeetahs were 8 seconds up the road from everyone else, whereas here Verne does not have that kind of dominance. Now Di Grassi's going to be on attack mode here, 235 kilowatts compared to Massa's 200.
And Massa was struggling massively already, Jack, with the back of the car. We see a yellow flag at turn 9.
Oh, and that is Sette Camara and Jarni. There's a lot of mess down there at turn 9, and the cars are quite far apart. So what on earth has gone on here? Left front damage for Sette Camara. Jarni's further up the road facing backwards with damage to the right front.
As he spun...
Cannot drive the car anymore.
Yeah, it's clear, mate. It's clear from the photos.
Spun round and hit him or something, trying to rejoin the track.
I can't normally. You get a little bit of Poirot out and you can figure out what might have happened. I got no idea on this one.
I was trying to do a bit of Taggart there for the Scottish angle, and I can't do it. I'm trying to analyse the tyre marks. I haven't got a clue what happened there. Well, I'm sure we'll see. But we see safety car, yeah, you couldn't do a full course yellow. The gap between the cars just wouldn't work. So safety car, Lucas Di Grassi taking attack mode. Lost 3 spots with that. And
now it's going to get used up. There's the BMW safety car.
Yeah, they crashed each other, and then I know where to go.
Oh, okay, so 2 people have collided, because Jarni was, I think, a bit behind Sette Camara. Sette Camara was sort of 15th or something. The
Kaleido, I see Kaleido's, do we see Kaleido's car? Because he's back there too.
And his last lap was a 1:21.341, so Here we go, Taggart. We're figuring it out. Let's have a look at the replay. So that is Buemi on Degrassi. So I think that's going to be fine. Sims is locking up behind. Oh, and there's a crunch.
That was a crunch. Ah.
So is that Sims or someone into Collado? And then Gianni. Oh, and then those two crash. And that's so weird. So Sete Camera just seemed to stop instantly.
Lost drive.
Yeah.
On the left wheel. The drive shaft's obviously popped out as he's hit it. Must be a fairly open diff in that car. Ah, Neil Gianni, innocent victim.
Chaos at the exit of turn 9.
Lots of carbon fibre lying around the track.
So there goes Buemi, that's fine.
Yeah, too experienced.
I think Sims went for Sete Camera, and they were miles behind Collado, so I think that's what's happened there. Evans then got hit by Sete Camera, but if we could see that just once more at some point, because I think I've just about figured out what happened, is that Sims went up the inside of Sete Camera. Sete Camera tried to brake as late as possible to not get overtaken by Sims, and then Collado was wiped out in that, like totally minding his own business.
Totally innocent party, right?
Look how far ahead the first of the Jaguars is. He's miles ahead. Sims goes through, Sete Camera goes to defend, and then Collado gets wiped out. He was nowhere near any of that, Collado, and then Gianni gets involved because Sete Camera starts driving and then instantly stops and then goes, because I think he was swerving right into Evans, hit the brakes, and Gianni goes straight into the back.
I think Sete Camera had a drive issue, and he was pulling out of the way, and he pulled right into the neck of the car. So, well, there we go. That went from 0 to a lot very quickly, didn't it?
Certainly did. 27 minutes left on the clock, as we are behind the BMW safety car at the moment. Daniel Abt and Oliver Turvey have a good amount of usable energy remaining. Everybody else is fairly similar at the moment. Nico Muller has the fastest lap, and we've seen Degrassi and Massa having a fight. This was the side-by-side. Whoa, Massa got well out of shape and clobbered into the side of Degrassi, and Degrassi goes around.
That's why he lost the 3 places. But Lucas did that thing that he does. He sort of tries to squeeze and intimidate. You're not going to intimidate Felipe Massa. Come on. I mean, he's been there, he's seen it, he's done it, and he's probably not in a particularly good mood because he's had a tough couple of races. So what does he expect Felipe Massa to do? Disappear? I mean, that's a tough one, and very unlike Lucas. Lucas is aggressive, but he's normally smarter than that. Nick de Vries, 12th position at the moment. That's oh no, they dropped the car off the crane.
Oh dear. So that's not going to be. That's going to not impress Jay Penske.
No, it's not pressing anybody.
26 minutes plus a lap to go, but we're still behind the safety car, and a reminder that they get, as Dario mentioned earlier, a reduction in usable energy, so they will still have to lift and coast. There is the Porsche being dragged off the circuit of Neil Gianni, so we're not too far away from going back racing here. Maybe a lap or two.
Clearly not happy with the car, Jack.
No damage, and his race is over. What a tough season this has been for James Collado in the Jaguar car. Safety car in this lap, and here's a look again at Massa.
You see that swerve?
And that's what kind of spooked Massa almost into a bit of a moment.
It didn't spook him. Trust me, I think at that point Felipe's going, really, man? You can hear him just go, really, man? Really? Look, watch this, the wheel. Just trying to squeeze him down and cross to the apex of the car, and you're inside. You've got to be. It's easy to say from here. It's so easy to say from sitting in the comms booth. But when the red mist goes down, speaking of the red mist, we're about to go green as we come up. Yeah, and Jean-Eric Vergne has gone already. Quite a gap between D'Ambrosio and Günther. Look at Günther.
Yeah, Günther's got a great restart here. He might even have a shot at overtaking Vergne down into turn 1. The race gets underway here on traditional Berlin, and Vergne is going to have to defend here, and aggressively defend he does. Günther to the outside, and they both got a bit out of shape. Robin Freitz gets the most out of shape. Van Dorn almost gets in the middle there, but Vergne holds the lead. D'Ambrosio has less usable energy than those behind him, so he might be a bit in trouble later in the race, and fact, Gunther is almost pushing Jean-Eric Vergne around. He wants to hit the front here. Down towards turn 6. Is Vergne going to have to defend again? There's sort of rubber bouncing out from inside Vergne's car.
The hot tires have picked all that rubber up. Gunther goes to attack mode. Has he got all 3? Did he get it? He's got it. Look for the switch back now. He's got
boxed in.
Yeah, he has.
Boxed in badly by
And he's
Freitz.
offline, so watch out now for the Mahindra behind to have a go.
Freitz and Van Dorn and Gunther. It was a reasonable idea, but the pack was so closely together.
Okay, be patient, be patient.
Be patient is the message.
When he gets on the mid-straight, he's going to start making things happen. Van Dorn is going to be his first victim. 9 kilowatt-hour energy reduction from the energy in the battery.
So Vergne now has almost got enough of an advantage to take attack mode this lap and not lose too much ground, only to D'Ambrosio, who's struggling. Through goes Alex Lynn going side by side with Lotterer.
Yeah,
Gunther does get past Van Dorn and back him into 4th place.
Lotterer trying the outside, but he's got to watch because the Costa's behind him. What do you think? Is Vergne going to take attack mode this lap?
I think he's got to, and I think he's being told to on the radio. Here comes Gunther to the outside of Freitz, down into 6th. Woof! Sweeps across dramatically.
Here we go. Yeah, he's going for it.
Oh, this could work out,
too.
because that opens up the gap a little bit. Gunther side by side, and Vergne just keeps it. Getting boxed in was crucial there. There goes D'Ambrosio up the inside, but that's going to allow Alex Lynn, because D'Ambrosio and Van Dorn were so narrow into 6. Lynn in the second Mahindra, the red and white car fancies a bit of a look, and they all get clogged up behind. Da Costa's on the outside. He's going to get squeezed into the wall by Lynn. Lynn just gives him about enough room. Lotterer goes to the outside now of Antonio Felix da Costa, his teammate from last year, almost going right round the outside there. That's a brilliant move from Andre Lotterer if he can pull this one off. Vergne is having to defend in the lead of the race because Gunther is on the attack down into turn 1. Robin Freitz has joined the party for the lead, and this is everyone else for 5th position. It's Lynn ahead of Lotterer, ahead of Da Costa, who we're on board with there. Da Costa has got ahead of Van Dorn. Van Dorn's in big trouble.
Yeah.
Left rear puncture, Stoffel Van Dorn.
There's obviously contact somewhere. You can see the right front coming off the ground. Stoffel Van Dorn's race is really over, but he's going to hold up a couple of the guys unintentionally. It's Gunther. He's just a bit too far back. Robin Freitz, though. Robin Freitz goes to attack mode. Robin Freitz looks very strong here. He's going to get out ahead of the Mahindra. Freitz is looking a bit tasty here, Jack. This could all come together for him. Vergne's got more attack mode than Max Gunther behind him.
Turn 29 yesterday, Robin Freitz. Ollie Rowland sends it. Here are the drivers that have won the fan boost meanwhile. Andre Lotterer, Daniel Abt, Lucas de Grassi, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Antonio Felix da Costa. So they will get a power boost in the second half of the race, up to 5 seconds. They will go to over 250 kilowatts, which is the... oh, that's dramatic from Buemi on Nick de Vries. Is that some late defending again from de Vries?
Yeah, some more late defending from Nick de Vries. Sebastian Buemi was having none of it. That's what you call when a rock meets a hard place. Buemi, past series champion, just being aggressive, taking no nonsense from anybody, moving up. And Roland behind Lynn is on attack mode. How aggressive is Lynn going to be in defending? He's blocked up. Oh, there you go, Roland just passed. Lynn goes to attack mode.
Yeah, that was smartly done from Alex Lynn. Activates his attack mode. He's going to come out side by side with Da Costa and just in front of Da Costa, crucially.
And there you see Da Costa, championship contender. Otherwise he'd just probably tried to squeeze him in normal circumstances, but he thought better of it today.
Jean-Eric Vergne leading the way. Gunther second. Gunther's going to run out of attack mode pretty soon because he was the first to take it of the front runners, and Robin Freitz behind him might be closing in a little bit. The de Grassi and Massa incident is under investigation. I wonder which way that one's going to go. Gunther just half a second behind Jean-Eric Vergne up in the lead. De Grassi's using his fan boost to defend from Sebastian Buemi. Those two old rivals. And de Grassi holds on to the position at the moment. We're on board with Antonio Felix da Costa, championship leader, surely champion-elect, up behind Alex Lynn in the Mahindra, looking for his first points with his new team.
And he hits look at the back end of the Mahindra, coming out onto the straight. See da Costa looking down, making some adjustment. I Again, Lynn just defending to the inside. And if you're Alex Lynn, you know that Da Costa's really, he's got a lot to lose. As you see, De Grassi, another late move on Sebastian Buemi, the two old guys, I shouldn't call them that, two more experienced ex-champions fighting it out.
That's old guy Dario Franchitti with me in the commentary box. Sorry, more experienced Dario Franchitti. Bit risky there. Da Costa fancied a look on Lynn. Right behind him is Andre Lotterer. Worth pointing out, of course, Stoffel van Dorn's puncture. Really good news for Da Costa's championship. This is Da Costa's radio.
Man, Lynn is moving under braking. Scott.
Scott Elkins, the race director. That's the complaint there from Alex Lynn. So there's race leader Jean-Eric Vergne, Gunther second, Fries third, D'Ambrosio fourth, Roland, then Massa, and then here is Lynn trying to squeeze Da Costa, and that is on the limit from Lynn. It's not quite as dramatic as Nick de Vries's moves. On board with Lotterer, third in this queue.
Yeah, it's definitely robust, and the man at the back, Andre Lotterer, we've seen him do some very robust moves before, and if I'm Da Costa, the last person I want to see is probably Lotterer in the mirror, because he is so aggressive. We saw him pushing his teammate a couple of years ago in Santiago, pushing him into the braking zones.
Oh, Da Costa goes for it. Sells Lynn the dummy. Very nicely done. And now Lotterer's going to take advantage. Lynn loses 2 places in one corner, and we've got Da Costa up into 7th place. Massa in 5th, Roland 6th. Massa's doing well, but he's still got, one attack mode remaining. But he's fighting with Oliver Roland up in 5th position. So not quite sure how Massa's kind of nibbled his way up into 5th place, but he's there at the moment and doing well.
Massa's done a great job. I'd love to see the energy he has left, but they took attack mode. It looks like the Venturi team at the right time.
That was the look from Da Costa. That was nice from Da Costa.
Yeah, that was absolutely. That was fantastic racecraft.
That's not a driver who's playing it safe in this race. Come on, that's a bit risky.
It wasn't massively aggressive. He knew he had the momentum, and it's certainly the riskiest thing he's done in the race so far. But now you see everybody is sort of queuing up behind Felipe Massa. Da Costa's next car to try and pass is Felipe.
Now, D'Ambrosio and Roland are in both in their second attack mode, as is Max Gunther.
3 white, and that's aggressive. Wow. From Da Costa, now you're starting to think, oh, I don't want to be in this position.
So Da Costa up into 7th place ahead of Andre Lotterer. Lotterer's still in attack mode. So a bit surprising, really, that he lost out there to Da Costa, when in theory he should be going quicker than the DS Techeetah in front of him. 14 minutes plus a lap to go. Vergne's lead is up to 2 seconds, but Gunther is in attack mode now, trying to close in. So Da Costa through the final corner and out onto the start-finish straight again. And he's still got 1 attack mode remaining.
This is the point where you need to stay cool, Jack. You don't want to get too caught up. You want to look after those rear tyres, not burn them off the car. This should be interesting. We've got De Grassi and De Vries racing against each other. And, I was going to say, every one of the drivers, lovely guys socially, but incredibly competitive, and will push each other to the absolute limit for every position, as it should be.
Vergne into his second attack mode. Max Gunther moves to the lead of the race. Vergne, though, takes the slingshot, gets to the inside. He's back in front. Is Gunther going to have a shot, though, coming down into turn 9? Oh, big twitch from Gunther. Has it cost him? He's still there on the outside of Jean-Eric Vergne. Now, for another minute and a half, basically, well, no, just over a minute, they're going to have the same amount of power. Then Vergne will have the chance to pull away.
We have 1% more than Jeff, 1% more than Jeff.
So is this the chance for Gunther to use that 1% on the run down into turn 1? In Santiago, he was calm, he was cool, he waited till the last lap. Vergne immediately covers the inside, Gunther to the outside in the BMW.
And remember, Santiago was an incredibly hot race too, with battery temperature issues, much like today. And Gunther is starting to really harass Jean-Eric Vergne. This is where he can push Jean-Eric into using more energy and dig a deeper hole for himself, allowing Gunther to pass, make the pass easier. He looks like he's ready, Jack. It looks like the move into turn 6 down the inside. How will Vergne defend? Yeah. Is he going to sell him the dummy?
Not this time. Looked as though Roland was passing D'Ambrosio for 4th position. Lucas has just completed lap 23, Lucas De Grassi, and he's now completed 5,555 race kilometres in Formula E. And he's the first driver to reach that mark. There's your niche fact of the day.
Wow, that was a lot of numbers.
We're on board with Gunter in driver's eye, the camera mounted inside the driver's helmet, right by his eye, as he tries to fight with Jean-Eric Verne for the lead of the race.
And you can hear the lifting and coasting, and his team are telling him, you've got more energy than the car ahead. Oh, Massa's got a drive-through penalty for causing a collision.
Wow, that's...
For the Degrassi
one?
Okay. Yeah. Don't know what to say on that one. And Sam Byrne, I'm still looking at here, down to still 17th. He's having a tough race, Sam, but Gunter looks like he's not having a tough race.
I have to say, Massa's having a tough race as well. Okay, he's just been given that penalty, but he was well up inside the top 10. He's now down in 14th spot. Now, Gunter has about 20 seconds of attack mode remaining. After that, it's going to be pretty tough for him to get past the Jean-Eric Verne, because Verne will be able to extend it just a little bit.
And he's expecting Jean-Eric Verne's tyres to fall off. Michelin lowered the low tyre pressure. Let's hear the radio.
Jeff has 1 minute more than you on attack. We try and keep up with him. Robin will run out of attack same time as you.
And he's just run out now. Yeah, so Michelin lowered the tyre, the minimum tyre pressure. Okay. That's allowed the tyres to last a bit longer. Michelin was so confident their tyres were bulletproof, jumping over curbs and stuff. They allowed the teams to lower that. That should have helped tyre life a bit. So I'm not sure Jean-Eric Verne's tyres are going to go off quite as much as Gunter and the BMW team are hoping.
10 minutes plus a lap to go. Verne leading. Second is Gunter. Third is Robin Freitz there in the Envision Virgin Racing car. Fourth is Oliver Rowland in the Nissan. He is ahead of Jerome D'Ambrosio in fifth. Antonio Felix da Costa up to sixth, using his fan boost as he comes down the back straight. Lotterer is then seventh. Then it is Lynn, Evans, Degrassi, De Vries, Rast, Buemi, Sims, and that man Muller at the back of that little queue. What are we watching here? De Vries defending from René Rast, who's getting into the fight a little bit. In 12th place at the moment with a bit of a shot at some points, potentially René Rast, although Evans, Degrassi and De Vries still have an attack mode to use. Mitch Evans is banging in fastest lap after fastest lap. He has the award at the moment, and he's in 9th place. There is De Vries, still defending from René Rast for 11th position. But all this queue up behind Alex Lynn at the moment in 8th spot. Again, De Vries defends. Rast on attack mode should get him down the start-finish straight.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Just try and get off that last corner. Be patient, get on the throttle, don't spin up the rear tyres. And here we go. René Rast to the outside.
Verne usable energy, just look to the top left quickly. 1% less than Gunter, 2% less than Freitz. That's going to be close for Jean-Eric Verne. Rast still can't get past Nick De Vries, who's defending nicely. Gives him a little bit of a rub at the back, let's say. But De Vries holds the position. Maybe we shouldn't say that.
Yeah, just give him a little motivation, a little nudge to get him moving.
Look at that beautiful shot of Berlin, the TV tower in the background, the radar tower at the end of the Tempelhof airport. Lovely.
And here we go, Rast. That's actually Degrassi, I'm sorry, defending.
Sims. Oh, Sims on the attack, actually. Sims trying to get around René Rast as Rast tries to get past De Vries. Degrassi now takes attack mode, and Rast bails out of that one.
And so does Sims. Sims is on, look at, Sims is on all the marbles, Jack. He's in so much trouble. It's going to take him a few corners to clean up those tyres, and he just moves back down the field after all that hard work.
And Buemi had to bail out of it as well in the Nissan, so he's still in 15th place. Sebastian Buemi. Verne still leading, half a second between he and Max Gunter. Gunter seems to have more pace than Verne at the moment. He was 3/10 quicker on that last lap. The gap is 4/10 of a second. Antonio Felix da Costa, the championship leader, still running in 6th place. This wouldn't secure him the championship as it stands, but it would do tomorrow, most likely. René Rast through then, finally past Nick De Vries and up into 11th position.
Sebastian Buemi finished second yesterday. This is crazy, the comings and goings at this championship at the moment. See Mitch Evans looking to set up Alex Lynn for an overtake. Mitch Evans slowed down a lot. He's lifting and coasting.
Lynn is on attack mode. Evans was not. Now Evans is.
Lose uses a lot of energy, possibly. Lynn's at 21%, the same as Verne. Lotter is at 24%. That Porsche, incredibly efficient today.
7 minutes plus a lap to go.
Sims flirting with the wall in turn 7.
Gianni, Sete Camera, Collado and Van Dorn, the 4 retirements from the Berlin E-Prix. And still, Gunter has a bit more usable energy than Verne. Freitz has sort of much more than, well, actually, Gunter's just regenerated a bit, but definitely has much more than Verne out in front. He is 4 seconds back, so maybe just hoping for a little bit of a safety car or something like that towards the end of the E-Prix, or just playing it safe. Lotter's got ahead of D'Ambrosio, so Lynn and D'Ambrosio are now together on track. This was the Sims thing. Went around the outside of René Rast, and then in comes de Grassi here. He cuts to the inside. Rast sees we're going 3 wide, and I swear almost lifts off the throttle to get out of the middle of that.
Right, yeah, you try and keep the momentum up. But watch, Sims is on this part of the track. He's not in the attack mode. He's on that part where all the rubber has gone, and Gunter's just continuing to hound Jean-Eric Vergne. And this is what he did, in Santiago. He's so good at that. But
Santiago in February, he just sat behind then race leader Antonio Felix da Costa. Just sat there. You can save energy in the slipstream as well.
But you're also pushing the battery temperature up because you're not getting clean air to the radiators. But Gunter looks like he's going to get some clean air in a second. He's going to try and force, he's just forcing Jean-Eric Vergne again to defend, try and use some more energy. And this is when you feel good, when you can cut back in and you know the guy in front of you has got less grip than you have, and he's essentially got less fuel in the tank, less energy in the battery.
He's on board with Mitch Evans. This is how he got past Alex Lynn up the inside into the hairpin. And his next target will be Jerome D'Ambrosio. 2 race leaders right together. Vergne ahead of Gunter, down into 6, and Vergne's still defending. Does defending use up more energy if you're going in at a narrower line into a corner like that?
It slows down your apex speed, which is not ideal, and that's what Gunter is forcing Jean-Eric to do. He's forcing him to not be able to carry as much momentum through the middle of the corner by making him take a shallower angle on the way in. So we have to say Max Gunter is, he's young, but he's smart, and his car is clearly handling well, because if Jean-Eric Vergne's car was handling to the way he wanted it, he'd be driving away. But look again, Gunter, excellent on the power, causing Vergne to defend. Where is he going to pass him? Where does he have a big enough advantage? Right there.
Turn 1 around the outside, they bang wheels. Jean-Eric Vergne holds the lead. Gunter in 2nd place. Bit of a nothingy move almost from Gunter there.
If I'm the BMW team, I'm going to go, come on, Max, you're not going to pass Jean-Eric Vergne on the outside of the 1 for the lead of the race. Think about it. Make him set up a move and make it stick.
Here they come then, down into turn 6 again. Vergne covers the inside line. Here's Gunter's radio.
Remember Marrakesh, it's all down to the last lap.
Gunter gets the cutback, coming out of turn 6, up the inside into 7, and Max Gunter takes the lead. It's all about the last lap. Gunter was just told on the radio, and now he's gone for it before the last lap. Vergne to the outside. Robin Freins is going to come and join the party as well. I presume that the engineer is actually referencing Santiago rather than Marrakesh, but Gunter hits the front. He's got more usable energy. He obviously fancies stretching a bit of a margin.
Well, you can probably see Robin Freins coming up behind in the Envision Virgin car, and he's just thinking, I'm out of here. I need to get going. And so can Jean-Eric Vergne stay with him and save that little bit of energy? You see Oliver Rowland up 5th, defending from Andre Lotterer.
Da Costa has managed to get up to 4th place now. He's been carving his way up the order, now into 4th position. Still not enough to win him the championship, but it moves him a little bit closer to the crown, even if he could get any closer to the crown. There is the championship as it stands. Gunter would move into 2nd place.
Remember, Jev loves overtake.
I think that was Gunter's radio saying, remember, Jev loves overtake, and Jev's been told to stay behind Gunter. That's Roland defending from Lotterer over 5th position now. Roland's in a bit of trouble here with usable energy, and Lotterer is able to drive through on the inside into turn 7. Everyone's used attack mode now as well. 2.5 minutes plus a lap to go.
And Sims, just like that, back up to 11th place.
Copy. Heads down, heads down.
Head down is the message to Andre Lotterer in that 5th position. Now ahead of Roland.
2.2 seconds though to catch up. Da Costa ahead of him. That's a big ask.
2 minutes plus a lap to go. Robin Freins could get involved in this. He's made up 3 places on the grid. He's a little far back. Well, 1.3 seconds, but he's got 2% more usable energy. He's not out of this.
And that means 1 straight, he can stay on the throttle and close that gap. This was a great battle. Look at Lotterer. Again, great racecraft from these guys. And Roland thought about it, and then you could see that Andre Lotterer coming past was just not going to yield that position again. Roland to the throttle, snaps it up. Lovely.
So Lotterer up into 5th place. Gunter pulling away at the front, and Freitz now is right on the back of Jean-Eric Vergne, coming down into the hairpin at turn 9. We've got a minute and a half plus a lap to go. This is going to be a tight one. I would say we're about to start the penultimate lap of the race, but it might be 3 more. But everyone will hope it's 2 more, because otherwise they're in big trouble. Here we come towards the line.
It's 2 more. It's 2 more, Jack.
Yeah. But only by a second or 2 here. Across the line they come with a minute and 5 seconds left. So 2 more laps to go. And there goes Freitz up the inside of Vergne. So much more usable energy. The Dutchman is up into 2nd place. He's got 1% more than Gunter. Is that going to be doable? Is Da Costa going to get Vergne? That would be quite something, because Da Costa has really done a number on Vergne over the last couple of races, but Vergne was brilliant today in qualifying. Took pole. Da Costa down in 9th in qualifying. If they go pole and 9th to 3rd and 4th in the reverse order, it's not going to be a good day for Vergne.
No, and this is the point when you're Jean-Eric Vergne, you look in the mirrors and you do a double take. What? And you almost think you're seeing things. I've done it before, especially with teammates. And Da Costa.
But you're the one in the mirror, right?
Yeah. Only once actually I can remember. I'll see Daniel Abt using his fan boost.
Abt in 17th position, and he is only 4/10 behind Eduardo Mortara, actually. And they're all up behind Alex Lynn, who's slipped down to 16th position. And look at the 2 Diesta cheaters. Here we go, out to start the final lap of the race. Here's Gunter's radio.
We have the same strategy as Robin. He will start the final lap.
Final lap?
0.
Freitz has got a shot here. He's got more usable energy than Max Gunter. They're right together. The 2 Diesta cheaters are right together. Gunter was told earlier on it's all about the final lap. He went for the move early on Vergne, tried to make a gap, but Robin Freitz has got a real chance of taking the win in Berlin on the final lap of the race to deny Gunter and BMW a home victory. Here they come down into 6th.
And he's got 3 chances. This is the first chance right now.
Makes Gunter defend.
Is he going to get the comeback, though?
The 2 Diesta cheaters right together. Big lock-up from Vergne. They might both lose out to Andre Lotterer. But here comes Robin Freitz down into turn 9. Gunter leads. Freitz in 2nd. Gunter immediately covers the inside line. Freitz to the outside. Does he try and go all the way around the outside? He doesn't. He'll either just get fed into the wall. Lotterer tries to go around the outside of the Diesta cheater. Up to the final corner. Freitz to the outside again. Not going to be able to do it. He'll try and get the drive off the corner and undercut Gunter on the way out, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. It might be the closest finish in Formula E history. Across the line, the checker flag. Gunter wins. He hit 0% just before the line. He was disqualified for usable energy last time.
Yes, well done, Max.
But
Well
it's
done.
Max Gunter
Yes, guys!
who wins in Berlin.
Come on!
Here's a look at the results after 35 laps of racing. Max Gunter taking the win, his 2nd win of the year. Robin Freitz in 2nd place. Jean-Eric Vergne in 3rd position. The Frenchman just a 10th ahead of his teammate Antonio Felix da Costa. Lotterer with a nice quiet race to 5th position. Ollie Rowland in 6th. Jerome D'Ambrosio 7th for Mahindra. De Grassi up into 8th place. Couldn't make his big climb up the order that he was hoping for. Quite a big gap from D'Ambrosio back to De Grassi. He was battling with Mitch Evans, who got up into 9th position.
Max Gunter, huge congratulations. Such a mature drive. I mean, would you put today's success down to all the work that you've been doing on qualifying?
I mean, of course, it was important to qualify in the front row, or at least close to the top guys. And yeah, it was an intense race until the end. You know, I think we managed very well. I dropped 1 place at the start, but we kept cool, recovered the position, and then managed the race, I think, really good, taking attack modes early always, and yeah, then to make the move on Chef. So late was planned, but then Robin came from behind with a bit more energy. But yeah, everything paid off, and I'm just so incredibly happy for the team, for myself, for everybody to win this home race here in Berlin.
Antonio, massive day tomorrow. You currently have 68 points, and you need to finish tomorrow with a 60-point lead to win the championship.
How many do I have?
You have a 68-point lead at the moment, and you need a 60-point lead to wrap it up.
Well, I don't need to. Well, if I want to win it tomorrow.
That is true.
No, I'm actually, you know what, it's obviously the goal is in my head, but I wasn't racing, you know, I had to be clever, but I think I raced like I've had in the previous races this year, and with a decent amount of aggressivity and making smart moves. Some guys out there they were very, very dirty to race with, and I lost a lot of time. Otherwise, we could have been on the podium because we finished right there, just behind Jeff. So, yeah, the thing is fast, which is nice, and we got another shot tomorrow. Hopefully, qualify slightly up the order a little bit and help me out.
So, Gunter's win means that as far as the championship is concerned, he's up into second position. He's still quite a way adrift of Antonio Felix da Costa. De Grassi now third, but Gunter going from 9th to 2nd in the standings. A huge swing for him. And da Costa scoring big points. Couldn't manage the 4th podium in a row, the 6th podium in a row or the 4th win in a row, but he still has a strong lead in the championship. Jerome D'Ambrosio picks up a couple of points. That pulls him above Pascal Wehrlein for 15th position. Turvey Muller and Gianni still waiting for their first points, but Antonio Felix da Costa still leads the way. And now the celebrations begin. Antonio Felix da Costa takes another step towards the championship, but Max Gunter closes the gap, moves up into second position. It's a long shot for him to actually win the crown. It's looking more and more in da Costa's hands with some strong champion drives.
And that's all from us here now. We'll be back again tomorrow for more electrifying action from Berlin.
Verne takes the slingshot, gets to the inside, he's back in front.
It's all down to the last lap.
Gunter gets the cutback, and Max Gunter takes the lead. And there goes Franks up the inside of Verne. It might be the closest finish in Formula E history. Across the line, Gunter wins. Oh!
We have more to come after the break as we rewind to last year's dramatic penultimate round of the Australian Superbike Championship held at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit.